Welcome back to the channel, Hex Tribe. In this video, we're going to be talking about what it actually takes for a cryptocurrency to be successful and for you to be successful in crypto, because it's really not what you think. A lot of people think about this, I think, the wrong way. But stick around till the end if you want to know the common pitfalls on top of what does work, but what doesn't work as well, just to be sure that you're not falling into these traps. Sounds good? All right. So we'll start this off with a funny meme. This is originally a Bitcoin meme, but it's expanded to include pretty much all of cryptocurrency in general. And a lot of people, they virtue signal and they pretend they're not here for the money, but this meme here, I'm in it for the technology. This guy who's obviously, he's got a Bitcoin chain on, and he's obviously likes gold and riches and all that. A lot of people claim they're in it for the technology, but they really just want to get rich in cryptocurrency. And so admitting this, I think, is one of the first steps to really achieving success. And for a cryptocurrency to really achieve success, part of the narrative behind the crypto has to be that the number will go up in the future. And why should the number go up? And we're going to get into the reasons why soon. But the first step is just admitting that you can be in it for the technology. I certainly am in it for the technology to a degree. But we also want to buy these things because we speculate on them and because we want the number to go up. And designing something with the design intention for the price to go up was something that a couple of my favorite cryptos had in mind when they first started. And we can actually take this meme and we could check out a more recent version, right? Which is, it's got my favorite crypto up there. And it's very funny because Richard doesn't really beat around the bush on that one either. But guys, what makes a good cryptocurrency? It's pumpamentals built in. What are pumpamentals? Just design trade-offs, design decisions that encourage people to buy, lock up coins more, not sell, and that distribute the coin to enough new people that it encourages enough onboarding to create a self-fulfilling prophecy, a price-positive feedback loop, which I talk about a lot actually in my previous videos, but it creates what's kind of a speculative flywheel, because we really need to exist, that people are here to speculate on cryptocurrency and they don't want to buy this stuff unless they think the price is going up in the future. And guys, I know it's the bear market and I'm incredibly frustrated with this, but I want to go back to what I think are first principles. Okay, let's go back to first principles of crypto, because in the bear market like this, it's important for myself included, but for all of us to think about what really makes a cryptocurrency successful and what does success mean to you. And again, I think success to a lot of people is the financial freedom part. It's getting rich, but more so it's buying your freedom, okay? Reaching financial escape velocity is something that's not possible with any other asset class in such a short period of time. And because crypto is so new and because it is the highest appreciating asset class of all time, if you do crypto right, it can be the best thing that ever happened to you. But if you do it wrong, you can lose all your money. And it's a really emotional roller coaster out there. It's tough, and it's especially tough right now, guys. I mean, I am sick of this bear market. It's boring me to death. And every time I hop on social media, it just fuels the fire of anger and pessimism. But hey, I know in the back of my mind that we got to be close. We got to be close, right? But I digress. Okay, the flywheel is what I call the price positive feedback loop, kind of baked into coins like Hex and maybe some other coins that you might like. I'm not saying it's the only end all be all, but a flywheel is a metaphor. It's a mechanical device that conserves momentum. So it uses angular momentum to store rotational energy. Basically, as you spin it up, it gets more and more momentum and it becomes harder to slow down. I often use the analogy of a snowball rolling down a hill. And so for a crypto to be successful, you have to emulate the flywheel of adoption. And so when a coin like Hex markets itself to go up in price, and that's what people care about, and it gives reasons why, like taking coins off the table, less negative externalities, replacing a $7 trillion market, epic community, epic founder, paying inflation to stakers instead of miners to hold the price up rather than sell the price down. I can go on and on and on, but you want your cryptocurrency to be a flywheel. You want it to have enough positive reinforcements to feed into itself and create a feedback loop that is beneficial for all. And there's people out there that they're naysayers when it comes to wanting financial freedom, or at least wanting to escape essentially the economic slavery that we've all been placed into in one form or another by our limited choices of the powers that be, Federal Reserve and the US dollar, or whatever your national currency is. But we can escape that with the power of cryptocurrency, okay? And how are we going to escape it? Well, because people don't really actually care about security or privacy or self-sovereignty. It's a nice side effect of being selfish, actually. So people don't really care. They're not going to be sold on, oh, this allows you self-sovereignty from someone censoring your transactions. Someone in a first world country might just say, well, no one's censoring my transactions. Why would I ever care about that? It's one of those things where you only care until it's too late. right? So we can't always use these core crypto principles that we think are the most important as the most important, because the reason everyone's here and what we have to admit to ourselves is that we're all a little bit selfish and greedy in this situation. And we all want to pick the coins that we think are going to go up the highest in the next bull run. Now, you guys probably know which ones I think. If not, check out the description below for some links. But we can have what's called effective altruism, or, there's selfishness and altruism. And I wanted to point to this article on the screen here from Psychology Today. There's actually been studies, if you want to Google this, in scientific papers too. But there comes a point where selfishness is sometimes actually good for the greater group as a whole. You see, on the flip side of the coins, you could have something called tragedy of the commons, which is a scenario where nobody is incentivized to take charge and take leadership and really lead the narrative going forward. But when I'm talking about effective altruism and selfishness being altruistic at times, it's that there are these rare moments where if we design something that everybody greedily wants for themselves, for their own best interest, it's those rare cases where your best interest actually aligns with the best interest of everybody else too. And when it comes to money and the vision of crypto, the underlying hidden vision of crypto is actually what's best for everybody. But again, they're only going to buy it if they think the price is going to go up because they're greedy, and that's okay. And this article goes on to say that, even things that we think are totally altruistic are actually selfish, right? Even if you donate to a charity, right? You're selfishly doing that because it will make you feel better, because you'll think it'll give you good karma, or you'll think other people might treat you better. There's always something going on under the hood that is not quite as altruistic as it appears to be. But again, that's okay. So make sure that when you're looking into crypto, you want to see a reason why the price is going to go up, because that's the only thing that's going to attract more people. And speculation at the end of the day is the name of the game. And the more people that we can get to onboard, the more real users, meaning real adoption, and taking the user experience to the next level, the more real wallets, the more real MetaMask wallets we can get in people's hands with real cryptocurrencies with no admin keys, with 100% uptime, real good quality products that are built for long-term thinking, not short-term day trading. The more people we get in, it's a net positive for the entire world. Because even if you have a slice of a pie, you gain more by making that pie bigger than by trying to get a bigger slice of a smaller pie. I hope that makes sense. That's reason number one. Admitting that speculation and number go up is a primary reason that cryptocurrencies are successful. And I know it sounds obvious, right? It might sound obvious to some people, but let's not lose the point here. Okay, this is the bear market. We got to stay strong. We got to keep our eye on the mission and what we think is really important. Now, number two, what really makes a cryptocurrency successful? I'm going to have to say community and testimonials. And what a better proof of community right here than on my favorite crypto's website. You can see testimonials from a whole bunch of people, and the list goes on and on. These are real people, real users making real videos about how this coin in particular changed their life and how they think it can do the same for many, many other people. And it even goes on, right? Life-changing wealth and more testimonials. These are tweets of real items, real things people have bought with cryptocurrency. A wedding ring, a new RV for their dream van life. New cars all around, a vacation with your parents. This is real stuff, and it doesn't have to be a new Lamborghini or Rolex, right? It could be very wholesome stuff. And so testimonials are what make people feel something. And if you don't have that, if you don't have a community that's testifying for your cryptocurrency, it's probably not going to end up doing so well in the long term, especially if the community is still alive and active in the bear market. Like our community here, right? We're the only active one, as far as I know, that's still going strong in the bear market. I mean, look at this. This is the pulsetube.com. This will show you the Pulse Chain ecosystem's list of over 100 different content creators, new ones popping up every day where I can't even keep track. And it also lists out all the new coins of the day that are within this vertically integrated ecosystem. Stuff like this is proof of community. This is literal proof of community. And like the founder Richard says sometimes, you can fork code, but you can't fork a community. So we live in a world where social currency is the best form of currency, and it's an attention economy, right? We can't necessarily just buy all the clicks. We have to have compelling testimonials, community, again, real people doing real stuff. Word of mouth is the most powerful advertising, and you might already know this, but if not, let me tell you, these are some statistics that just prove that word of mouth, you can see here, Americans value word of mouth 41% more than social media recommendations, and recommendations from friends are valued 27% higher than online advertising. And I've seen studies where these numbers are even higher, weighted towards word of mouth. Word of mouth is more powerful than anything. And how do you get word of mouth? You get it with community. How do you get community? New quality tools being built, quality products, quality projects, and quality people. Real content creators, real testimonials on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all over the place. And I think this particular community that I happen to be a part of, it makes me bullish to think about and remind myself that we've got all that right there. And that's something I really don't think any other crypto community has at this time. So what does a crypto need? Pumpamentals, price positive, feedback loops, community, real people. But the third one is anchoring to a narrative. So why is a narrative important? And what is anchoring? Well, anchoring is the psychological principle of coming back to a few core ideas, anchoring yourself to a few core concepts and ideas, slogans and keywords and fun things to say like stake it till you make it, or traders always lose, or long-term thinking over short-term thinking. These core beliefs that make up the driving narrative are things that we all agree on. Whether or not we have our favorite coin over here or there, we might bicker all day long about nuances of, my coin is better than your coin or whatever, but we really need to realize that the real battle is between us, the crypto community at large, and the corrupt middlemen that it's trying to replace. The Federal Reserve that's devaluing your money every single day. It's virtual theft, okay? And one of the only reasons that crypto was invented was to get rid of these corrupt middlemen and to take the power back into your own hands. And so this is the narrative of crypto. This is the narrative that I'm in it for. Again, more than anything, but financial freedom is one and the same. They're not any different to me. Getting rich, getting financially free, and buying my freedom is the same thing as the narrative of crypto in general. But that gets extended to include security, privacy, peer-to-peer borderless, open digital payments, and stores of value that increase at a faster rate than inflation is devaluing our money is one of the only good things going on in the world. So that's the narrative that I want to drive to all of you, anybody watching. And look, self-sovereignty and censorship resistance, these are all the real reason that crypto was invented. But guess what? Those are all nice side effects of us also achieving financial freedom in the process. But most people don't realize how powerful it is to actually hold your own private keys, to hold the password to your own money, where nobody could shut you off, nobody could tell you how to spend it. And again, saying, I don't care about privacy because I have nothing to hide is kind of like saying I don't care about freedom of speech because I have nothing to say. You're not going to care about it until after the fact. So before it's already too late, let's get everybody in with the making money, financial freedom narrative. And as a side effect, you get censorship resistance, no middlemen, and the reason crypto was invented in the first place. Now, thanks for watching this far, and a couple of pitfalls that you got to be careful of. These are some things that do not work to make a cryptocurrency successful. These are some things that I see time and time again, and I keep falling for them. Sometimes I continue to fall for them. And these are things that I'm going to make an entirely separate video about. So I just want to leave you with this. If you want to dig into some of these topics more in the meantime, feel free to. But one of them is tragedy of the commons. Again, that's what I mentioned earlier, when there's nobody incentivized enough to create a thriving ecosystem and community. Or in other words, let's say you give a little bit to everybody where nobody has more and everyone just kind of lets it fizzle out and die. When people let the idea die and fizzle out, you essentially had tragedy of the commons. Other things are shiny object syndrome. If new cryptocurrencies are being generated at such a fast rate that it's impossible to even keep up with, and you really have to ask yourself, is every new thing that comes out every 2 weeks worth chasing after? I fall for that all the time. That's something that makes you not successful in cryptocurrency. So shiny object syndrome does definitely not work. And I occasionally get my monthly or weekly reminder of why it doesn't work. But luckily, I've been around a while. I'm a little more resistant than I used to be to shiny object syndrome. Again, you have to ask yourself, there's going to be a new coin created next week and the week after that. Which ones are really going to have the price potential to shine and overperform in the next bull market? Because that's another one. Diversification in cryptocurrency, that's a myth. If you're starting off relatively not rich, like I started off, diversification actually works against you because you end up spreading your money into 100 things and only 1 or 2 or 3 of them actually work. Wouldn't you rather have just focused that money on the 2 or 3 ones that did work and then rode those to the moon? So you really have to be careful about your selections, but also don't just shotgun approach. And then finally, what doesn't work is simply boredom, which again goes into shiny object syndrome, and short-term thinking. Cryptocurrency is a months and years game, and if you're not in it for those long-term time horizons, you're never going to make it in crypto. And if a cryptocurrency itself isn't designed to last longer than your lifetime, I think you're playing the wrong games, okay? because pump and dumps happen all the time. And if you're buying a coin that was built with short-term thinking built in, you're probably buying a glorified pump and dump. So again, let's recap. What makes a cryptocurrency successful? Built-in fundamentals and admitting that you're here to speculate. Real people, real community, real testimonials. And finally, anchoring to a common narrative. Anchoring to ideals that we can all get behind. No admin keys, no middlemen, holding your own money, being a self-sovereign individual. Anchoring to the strongest narrative, and the coin with the strongest narratives will probably bode you well. Again, none of this is financial advice, but if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, leave a comment below on what do you think is helpful to make a cryptocurrency succeed. There's stuff I missed here. Getting in early, dollar cost averaging at the dips. There's a whole bunch of tips out there that could help you succeed in crypto, so let me know what those are in the comments below. Again, I know the bear market sucks. I am sick of it. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we've almost had a bottom. It's been about just over a year of real bear market, so I'm actually optimistic, believe it or not, that we might have actually hit the bottom. And if not, well, maybe another 6 months at the most, in my opinion. But we're all waiting out this bear market together. So let's recenter, refocus on our single mission, and let's get what we came here for. Let's get to financial freedom like we're all trying to do. See you guys on the next video.